talked about Petaway. Siobhan Shields needs to have a big game as well.
He's really been hitting the glass effectively lately as well. 10 rebounds at Penn State. Going to need some more of that today.
And your Buffalo Wild Wings starting lineup for the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. The change in the lineup without Andre Hollins. Malik Smith gets his first start.
Malik Smith, a three-point shooter extraordinaire. Doesn't put it on the deck a lot, but stays within himself and his game.
Sold-out crowd in Lincoln, Nebraska. Every game in conference season has been sold out since early before the season started. And they're ready to go as Minnesota controls the tip. And DeAndre Matthew, great speed, great ball handler, and of late a better scorer.
Yeah, and he picked up the slack where Andre Hollins' injury kind of had a void on the offensive end, and like you said, he definitely picked up the slack.
And then Petaway gets in there to get the steal, and Matthew with the foul, his first, and DeAndre Matthew with his first as Richard Pitino looks on, the first-year head coach of Minnesota. What a job he's done through 20 games in Minneapolis.
He's really got his guys believing that they can win each and every game. That was the one thing he said to me in the pre-conference when I went to see them practice.
Shields, nice dish inside, and Pitchford with a two-handed stuff.
Excellent dribble penetration by Shields. He draws so much attention, Kevin, that it's a wide-open look for Pittsburgh.
There's Matthew around that Eliason screen. Eliason back in his home state, albeit 450 miles away from his home. The jumper by Otto Oceanics and the rebound Pittsburgh. Now Ty Webster, the freshman.
I like Nebraska's approach on the pick and roll, trying to corral.
Pretty good start for Nebraska as Walter Pitchford hits his 23rd three of the year. Nobody in the nation 6'10" or taller has more threes than that man.
Yeah, he doesn't do a lot in the paint besides dunk, but boy, he is comfortable on the three.
Come on, an answer from Malik Smith from outside the arc.
I'm not surprised to see that. That's the scouting report. You got to pick him up off the bus.
Almost 40% from three-point land. Duran Petaway to Siobhan Shields. Shields driving past Oceanics. Eliason is there for the block. Gallegos launching and hit it.
Boy, they are locked in here at home. This home crowd loves giving this young team some energy and emotion. They play off of it extremely well.
And a steal. Gallegos intercepting the cross-court pass from Matthew. Webster back over now to Petaway. Ty Webster just 3.6 points per game over his last 12. Here's Pitchford. He'll take that jumper and he'll hit Nebraska red hot out of the gates offensively.
When you have a team at home that starts like this, you've got to get good possessions. Minnesota's had a couple turnovers already. You've got to get good looks at the bucket. Even if you don't make it, you can get back defensively and prepare.
Here's Eliason inside. The wild shot rebounded by Nebraska. He did not hit a field goal on Wednesday in the win over Wisconsin. The big post play came from Mo Walker off the bench.
They got in early foul trouble, and the depth of Minnesota showed up as a result.
Eliason there with the rebound. Second in the Big Ten in rebounding in conference games, almost 9 a game. And then out of bounds, third turnover already for the Gophers.
Let's take a look at the Shadron, Nebraska native with the block there on the help side. And Pitchford just facing up, doing what he does best. Even at 6'10", tremendous face-up shooter.
Minnesota's showing a little pressure. How do you like Nebraska's ability to navigate against that pressure as Webster cannot connect and Leslie Smith couldn't handle, but it's out of bounds off Minnesota?
Well, Nebraska, Gallegos is not a primary ball handler, but he can handle it under duress if need be. Ty Webster did a really good job of pushing the rock up. Petaway can handle as well, so it's a good lineup for Nebraska against pressure.
Petaway. Smith wasn't ready for that leave by Petaway. Matthew, great speed all the way to the other end, and a good adjustment by DeAndre Matthew to get the two.
And DeAndre Matthew can turn that over. We've seen him dunk in high school on a few people going to the rim, so he's got the ability to make things happen at the rim.
Not sure there's a quicker player in the conference with the ball in his hands in the open floor. Shields can't connect. Eliason, the rebound. Here comes Matthew again.
See, this is what got Nebraska in trouble at Penn State. The Nittany Lions had a route scoring the basketball, but Nebraska didn't take advantage with poor shot selection.
The roll to the basket and the foul on Leslie Smith. Otto Oceanix is going to work his way to the foul line for a pair. There's Andre Hollins, who sprained his ankle on Wednesday night. This was very early, 30 seconds into the game, and this hurts even on replay.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because it looked like Josh Gosser came up under him when he was shooting the basketball, rolled that ankle, and I've done that. That is, you strain ligaments in that situation, and it's just it'll take various amount of time depending on how hard he can rehab, how quickly he can get the swelling out. But he will be affected by that, Kevin, the rest of the season.
Well, and apparently it's the first time he's done that to his ankle, sprained his ankle, and they say that the first time is always the hardest one to deal with because you've never had that issue before.
You never had it before, and it's such a unique pain that when you come back, you don't know if you're just getting back into the flow of things or you're re-injuring it. So got to be very delicate with that injury.
Gallegos in and out. Hollins the rebound. Here comes Matthew again. Great speed into 5 defenders and a tie-up on the way by. Gives it. Coaches versus Cancer Suits and Sneakers Awareness Weekend draws attention to the fight against cancer. It's great to report that Avery, who underwent a bone marrow transplant last year, is now leukemia-free and doing really, really well.
Yeah, we're seeing some good job Avery T-shirts in orange here today, just in support of him. So, a wonderful story.
Leslie Smith fouled on his way on Elliot Eliason, and 2 free throws coming for Leslie Smith.
Leslie did a good job of getting the ball at the free throw line. That's the weakness in a 2-3 zone. He got it and took it right to the rim to create the contact.
Leslie Smith, a 72% free throw shooter. But he hurt his hand a couple of games ago, and I want to say that was why the free throw was off, but it slowed him down. Misses both of those. Oceanix the rebound.
Yeah, and he doesn't have very good body language. You know, after that first miss, shaking his head. A lot of self-doubt right now.
DeAndre Matthew, certainly not lacking in the confidence department, but he travels, and that's the 5th Minnesota turnover in this first half.
It looks like DeAndre's pressing a little bit too much, trying to get to the rim and not taking what the defense is giving him.
How big of a benefit was it for Minnesota? And I don't want to say it's ever a benefit when you lose somebody like Andre Hollins, but to have to just adjust on the fly and not have time to think, Andre Hollins isn't in the lineup. Does that help a team?
Oh, it definitely helps the team because, you know, you've got a veteran like Malik Smith that was coming off the bench that can provide a lot of scoring, but a lot of knowledge, little nuances of the game. That's what you miss most about Andre Hollins. It's not his 15 to 17 points a game. It's the nuances that he knows how to get his teammates open. He knows where guys like the basketball.
Shields with the jumper a little bit strong, and Nebraska started red hot, has cooled off now, just 4 of 10 from the floor.
Again, their problem has been shot selection. It's not that they can't score. It's just their decision-making when looking to score at times has been to their detriment.
Eliason deep in the block against Pittsburgh, and Oceanix trying to swat out the miss. Petaway on the run, driving all the way coast to coast, and Petaway with the 2.
Teran Petaway showing you what kind of athlete he is at the rim. You know, with that size and that frame at 6'6", being able to get to the rim and finish.
The only player in the Big Ten averaging 17 points, 5 rebounds, and at least 1 steal per game. Smith open with a 3, hits it, and the foul. Petaway on the run out, got a hold of Malik Smith, who drains his 2nd 3 of the game, and a chance for a 4-point play.
Malik Smith was very fortunate in the scissor kick. You notice when he went up for the shot, he kicks his legs out. Watch this. Kicks his legs out, and Petaway hit him on the arm. So not a wise move there by Petaway, closing out on the shooter.
And a 4-point play. You're playing with fire when you send the top free throw shooter in the Big Ten to the line at any time. Now a 4-point play brings Minnesota within 1. Shields.
Excellent job of Otto Oceanix getting back defensively.
Webster nowhere to go down the baseline. Ty Webster around the screen from Rivers just off the bench. And the rebound by Hollins, and now Minnesota looking for the lead. We saw Hollins elevate on Wednesday night, one of the best dunks of the year in the conference.
Yeah, that's definitely up for dunk of the season, and that drew a bit of beer face coming to the hole with some authority. Minnesota going to need some plays like that from Hollins. this afternoon.
Matthew backs it out to Smith with 12 on the shot clock now for the Gophers. Matthew against Webster with 5 to shoot, and a foul is called on Ty Webster.
One of the reasons the Gophers can make up for the loss of Andre Hollins is the three-point shooting of Malik Smith. Hit 93 Florida International before coming to Minnesota, so this guy's not afraid. 96, excuse me, at Florida International. So he's not afraid to put it up early and often.
Well, he had 8 made threes in a game last year at FIU. Misses that one. He's got 2 in the first half so far that he's drained.
Malik's one of those guys that he hasn't had a shot he didn't like, so he's going to let it go.
As long as he makes 40% from out there, Richard Pitino will allow him to continue to shoot.
Oh, for sure.
Pitchford trying to find a 3. Smith with the rebound.
Now, you remember when Nebraska was doing well and they were red hot at the beginning of this half. They were getting to the rim. There was dribble penetration for Minnesota and why they have been a surprise team in the Big Ten this far.
One of the things Richard Pitino was talking with us about before the game was we've got to just keep pounding it inside. We've got to be consistent in our approach in the post. Here they go. Extended is Walker, had to get rid of it.
Yeah, see, that time, Walter Pitchford did an excellent job of getting him off the block when he caught it.
Austin Hollins has been quiet so far, but a foul. It'll be the 15th foul on Nebraska. Now tonight on BTN, we've got you covered for all things basketball. Stay tuned to an all-new episode of The Journey, and at 8:30 Eastern, Big Ten basketball and beyond wraps up the entire weekend. That's all coming up tonight on BTN. Hollins off the screen for 3. Rebound tipped up and in by Mo Walker. Active again down low.
Yes, he is. And every time he gets in the paint and he's productive like that, you can see his confidence continuing to elevate. When you have a double-headed center like Elliott and Maurice Walker, you can have a lot of success.
Ivercon Hanmisi starts it the other way after the Nebraska turnover. Out for the 3. Rebound, Hollins had it and picked up by the smallest man on the floor, Benny Parker. Gallegos in transition. Brings down the 3.
See, it won't go on the box score, but that quick 3 by Hanmisi, it totally caught the Gophers off balance. Nebraska was able to come down and get a quick 3 of their own because of that decision to take that quick 3.
2 threes hit for Gallegos. Good start for him at 6 points in this first half. King inside colliding with Benny Parker in the foul. We'll stay tuned at the half. Our State Farm halftime report coming up with Pizzo and Tim Doyle in our BTN studios in Chicago. They'll run down the day so far in college basketball and, of course, wrap up another busy Big Ten weekend. Quite a night last night in the state of Michigan.
Oh, boy.
What a matchup between the Spartans and the Wolverines.
Well, to me, when you are missing 15 rebounds a game and you're still in the ball game down the stretch against a very good Michigan team, that said a lot about the Spartans to me.
And Ty Webster got into some traffic and took that extra step. The turnover right back to Minnesota.
So you look at this Nebraska team, and coming into the day, they're 1-5 in conference play. Their coaching staff felt like they really had control of the ball game in their last loss at Penn State. And so now you look at that game at Penn State, you look at the one here against Michigan. That was a 1-point loss, and they had a couple cracks at it right at the buzzer. This is why it's so difficult to get young players to understand these possessions are so critical. That most of these Big Ten games are not going to be blowouts. They're going to be close affairs. And your decision-making throughout the game, not just down the stretch, has a big impact on the outcome.
Turnovers killed them at Penn State. They're outscored 22-1 off the 14 turnovers. Walker battling for the rebound inside, but it's tipped away. Pettaway and a foul in transition as Pettaway was trying to get it to Shields, but the foul going on DeAndre Matthew. And that is his second personal foul, and that's a huge second foul.
Yes, it is. And take a look at how Nebraska is getting up the court. This is that shot that we were talking about. excuse me, that was a foul on DeAndre Matthew where looked a little like they could have let that one go, but that's what happens during the game when you pick up a quick early.
Pretty good work by Leslie Smith there to get to the bucket under some duress. 20-15 lead for Nebraska. And now the pressure falls on the shoulders of Maverick Ahanmisi because DeAndre Matthew out, no Andre Hollins on the floor. Point guard becomes a little bit of an issue right now.
It does. And with a post pass right there.
So Nebraska now, can they take advantage? Gallegos with a three. And Ahanmisi tracks it down.
Nebraska doing an excellent job of defensive transition.
Smith hits the three again. His third made three of the first half. And that little sidestep got him clear.
Yeah, he just needs a little bit of space to get that jumper off. Not tall, but quick release.
10 points already for Malik Smith in his first start as a Gopher. Pettaway around the screen. Long two is good for Terran Pettaway.
The degree of difficulty on that shot was high. And if you're Minnesota and he hits that shot, well, you can see, we tried to play good defense, but that was better offense.
One of the better surprises in the Big Ten this year, Terran Pettaway, from a scoring standpoint. Fourth in the league as a scorer this year.
Yeah, he's not surprised to the coaching staff of Nebraska, though.
Malik Smith. Ice in the veins, just raining that one from deep.
And now Nebraska has a dilemma on their hands. So me being a defensive player, I'd have to start talking about his mama or something to get in his head because he's unconscious. That don't like that going early. And he knows that he has to pick it up a little bit in the absence of Andre Hollins. Got a dangerous combination right there for the Gophers.
13 points for Malik Smith. 4 made threes already. Saved in that corner by Daquan McNeil. 12 on the shot clock for Ahanmisi. Here's Smith. He thought about it from there. 5 to shoot. Nice lob inside. Eliason couldn't finish.
Pretty good patience by Minnesota right there. That was a good look at the rim.
Pettaway was strong on that one. And Eliason able to save it.
Remember what I said about shot selection?
It's going to belong to had a bone marrow transplant a year ago and is now leukemia free. And you'll find out more about Avery and Chris's story coming up after our broadcast from Lincoln on an all-new episode of The Journey, Big Ten Basketball 2014.
You were smooth, Kevin. You just put all that together, man. Just made it sound seamless. I'm just going to sit back and listen to you the rest of the day.
Even I can read things. Ahanmisi with 10 to shoot for the Gophers. Driving it all the way to the well. And the scoop shot rebounded by Rivers.
Ahanmisi got hit across the head, but did not get the call.
Smith inside. Got Eliason in the air. And a foul on Oceanix coming from behind. Nebraska shooting 50% from the floor in this first half, and Tim Miles looks a little anxious. They're only up 4 with those numbers.
Well, he should be anxious because they're shooting 50% from the field. They forced 6 turnovers. They've got DeAndre Matthew out of the game with 2 fouls, and yet they're only up 4 points. So, does Nebraska need to take better shots? Do they need to get the ball in the paint a little bit more? They had very good balance at the beginning of the game. They seem to have gone away from that.
Leslie Smith 0 for 3 at the foul line tonight. If he makes this one, Pitchford will come in for him. And Smith kind of shaking his head as he heads to the bench today. Finally, one of these things went in.
But the fact that he's getting to the paint means he's being aggressive around the basket. He's getting the basketball, and that bodes well for Nebraska because they are a guard or a perimeter-oriented team. But if they can get production in the paint, that makes them similar to Minnesota.
Hollins, back over to Ahanmisi. Each team down some guards with Matthew in foul trouble. Andre Hollins out for Minnesota with the ankle injury. Deverell Biggs not here due to personal reasons. And Smith with the little runner gets it to drop. He's showing all kinds of versatility in this first half.
I did not know he had that in his game. He crossed up his defender, got into the paint, and nice floater over the defense. Malik Smith. That's what happens when you get those first few to go. I mean, I know you know that, being a star player that you are.
Yeah. It's something to watch me play. Not sure what it is, but it's something. Ugly's a compliment, right? Inside it goes to Shields, and the foul on Ahan Misi.
Mavericks got to be careful. John Higgins shot him a look felt young man. I'm gonna, I don't want to take too much of this back talk here. You got to be careful with that. I know Mavericks upset because he got hit in the head.
That's 2 now on Ahan Misi. So some real foul trouble at the point guard spot for Minnesota. Matthew stays on the bench though with those 2 fouls, and the turnover forced by by Austin Hollins, who got right up into Ray Gallegos' skill set on the sideline.
Yeah, and Austin Hollins is so long, 6'6", but a tremendous wingspan and athleticism. Very good on steals as well.
Entry pass into the post, and the foul going on Walter Pitchford.
That's the play that we highlighted that brings the big from weak side to strong side. Austin Hollins goes and sets a screen for Elliot Eliason right there. You see where he was going to catch the ball. That puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Minnesota commits to getting the ball inside better than any team in the Big Ten.
7th team foul, so the 1-and-1, but the front end no good, and Nebraska dodging a scoring opportunity there. We'll bring it up with 5:19 to go first half. Shields back into Gallegos, and now to Siobhan Shields. Rivers the long 2. And the rebound to Ahan Misi.
That's a good look for Rivers. 15-footer just off the elbow, wide open look. He's got to take that to keep the defense honest.
Oceanics back out now to Smith. And Hollins with 22 to shoot. He's been quiet so far, but you know he can heat up in a hurry, and Austin Hollins drains the jumper.
Well, Austin Hollins does so many things on the floor for you in terms of shooting the 3. He can rebound with any wing in the Big Ten. He's athletic enough that he's posterized his last opponent in that dunk last game, so a lot to his game to like.
First 2 points of the night, bringing Minnesota within 1. Pitchford going to finally shoot it, and he hits it. Well, he waited forever, and then he drains the 3.
Well, Walter Pitchford is smart in that he knows Elliot Eliason is on an island, meaning that bigs, they don't like to come out of that paint area to defend. And so they're not used to closing out on the guy shooting the 3. Pitchford understands that, took his time, got the space.
Oceanics on the bounce to Ahan Misi. Back out to Smith. Deep 3 for Malik Smith. And this time can't connect with a rebound out of bounds. Nebraska ball. 3:55 to go in this first half. A little pressure applied now out of the timeout by Minnesota.
Yeah, and they'll run and jump, meaning that they'll come behind and try to double team off the bounce. It looked like Malik decided to stay at home, but Minnesota tries to keep you off balance with their different pressure defenses, and sometimes they sag back into a 2-3, but right now they're in a man-to-man.
14 to shoot for Siobhan Shields. Lost that one inside. Good defense by Malik Smith, keeping Shields from going where he wanted to go.
Malik Smith doing a little bit of everything here in the first half. 15 points, 4 or 6 from 3, but like you said, making plays.
Towards that mayhem index a moment ago, and Minnesota responds with a steal. Obviously good producer. Inside, Mo Walker gets free, and he crams it. On that rim.
See, Mo Walker, here's the thing. He doesn't have to have a Sigma move or a drop step or anything like that. If he gets the ball in a certain position, he's so big. If he goes right to the rim, he's going to create havoc. Minnesota staying committed to getting the ball in the post.
Pitchford looking for another 3. And the rebound, Daquan McNeil.
Walter Pitchford, career high 14 points, is already at 10 here in the first half, so feeling pretty good about himself.
The foul on Pitchford there, his first. As we remind you to stay tuned at the half of the State Farm halftime report with Rick Pizzo and Tim Doyle. It is just 2 minutes and 38 seconds of game action away. So consider this, Rick and Tim, the 2-minute and 38-second warning. As Mo Walker goes to the line for the 1-and-1.
It's like Pitchford's got 2 fouls, and Minnesota's done a really good job after the first couple of minutes of keeping this crowd down a little bit. They've stopped the runs from Nebraska. They play pretty solid defense, and this crowd can really get into it. They've been on their seats for most of the first half.
And it is a packed house. I mean, they are all the way up to the top in this building. Smith lost it, but got it back. 16 to shoot. Head away, the open three. And the rebound, a foul is called. Rivers coming over the back of Joey King. And Nebraska getting a little frustrated right now. And a 1-and-1 on the other end for Joey King, who's a good free throw shooter.
Well, Minnesota seeks out bodies. You saw it right there. Joey seeks out Parker. Or I'm sorry, David Rivers on the box out. Forced Rivers into a foul.
First foul on Rivers. Gallegos back in. King to the line for the 1-and-1. And Minnesota has missed all three front ends of 1-and-1s in this first half.
That will come back and haunt you in more ways than one.
Gallegos can't hit there. Petaway with the offensive rebound. Petaway, nice dish in traffic and a foul. Well, how did he find enough room to get that ball to Leslie Smith?
Yeah, he's just a talented performer along the baseline. And, you know, one of the toughest things to do, rebound out of a zone defense. See, Petaway came from the top of the key. No one put a body on him.
Leslie Smith continuing to struggle at the free throw line. 1 for 5, and now 2 for 6 for Leslie Smith.
Daquan McNeil in the game for Minnesota. A talented young freshman, but hasn't gotten a lot of playing time recently.
Malik Smith missing on that drive. He has been the aggressor all over the offensive end. Shields will have to back that one out. Good defense by Minnesota. Webster with the spin, lost it off of the Gophers. It's going to stay with Nebraska, 19 to shoot.
Ty Webster doing a good job of getting, again, paint touches. That could be passes into the paint area, dribble penetration where you get into the paint, put so much pressure on the defense, even though he lost the ball that time. Doing a good job.
Petaway spinning inside, found the range with a right hand. He's got 12.
Man, you can tell he's played a lot of basketball. He gets in situations, he looks like he's going to be in trouble, then he puts a spin move into a jump hook. He made that look really easy.
McNeil turning the corner. Bodies all over the place, and Shields able to pull away for Nebraska. Gallegos with 24 to shoot. He'll back it out to Webster. Nebraska shooting 46% in this first half. 13 to shoot for Webster. Around the Smith screen, driving it up. No good. Didn't hit rim. 5 to shoot. They've got to hurry. Smith with 2 on the shot clock, and it's taken away. And now Minnesota can hold for the last shot.
Mo Walker did an excellent job that time.
Smith won't wait for that to run down. Malik's
right line and make it look easy.
Now Nebraska can hold for the last shot. Leading by 2, 32 to 30. A little more offense in this first half than maybe we expected.
These are situations where they'll miss Devereaux Biggs. He can go off the bounce and create offense.
Shields backing up over Elias and hits the 3. And that back out there to start the second half with those 2 fouls.
Let's see if he can adjust to the way that Nebraska's guarding him. They're trying to corral him, keep him from dribble penetration. Maybe he can be used as more of a decoy this game.
Austin Hollins working it around to Matthew. 20 to shoot. Matthew down the baseline. Dumps it off to Elliot Eliason, who's fouled. And Eliason will go to the line for a pair. Well, every game, Tim Miles tweets at halftime his thoughts on the first half. Today, he says we can't let Smith continue to go off like that. We have to keep playing sound defense, and ball handling will be important. Find a way to win.
Yeah, and he's correct. They've got to find Smith in transition. And like we always talk about, pick him up off the bus. Don't let him get free at all. Make him into a dribble penetrator.
Minnesota 3 for 7 at the foul line in this game. Now 4 for 8 as Eliason goes 1 for 2. Now the Pressure applied with Matthew heading it up at the point guard spot again.
See some man-to-man pressure, and then Oceanix tries to double team, does a good job getting back defensively.
Well, that's Tim Miles' tweet. Ball handling will be important. He expects to see that in the second half. Shields with the contact. He'll go to the line.
Siobhan Shields is excellent at drawing contact when he goes to the rim. He does change of pace very, very well. Makes Oceanix close out on him, so he gets a little bit of advantage and draws the contact.
Shields with 4 points. First free throw attempt for Siobhan Shields in this game. He's a 71% shooter on the year.
And remember, Devereaux Biggs is not. And so we talk about Siobhan Shields and Teran Petaway, really the two guys that can get their shot off the bounce and put pressure on the defense.
You lose so much off your bench without Biggs' second highest average among all bench players in the conference at 10 points per game. Eliason against Pitchford. Reposting down low, and Eliason cannot connect. That's what you were talking about earlier, though, with Mo Walker reposting and getting good position.
Yeah, and then those guys being determined to get him the basketball.
Matthew back up to Oceanix. And the rebound to Gallegos.
That's not a bad look. A trail three-pointer at the top of the key, wide open. That's a good look from Minnesota.
He can hit those, too, at 33% on the year for behind the arc. After the game, don't forget, the Journey Big Ten Basketball 2014 will come at you immediately here on BTN. The Minnesota fans, a profile on DeAndre Matthew and how he's flourishing in Richard Pitino's system. Not just for Minnesota fans, others can watch that too.
For sure.
DeAndre Matthew, talk about flourishing. 18 against Wisconsin. Their two biggest wins in conference, Ohio State and Wisconsin. And Matthews led the way, 18-13 against Ohio State.
Yeah, and he, the thing I like about Matthew, he doesn't force his offense. He takes it as it comes, takes it in the flow of the game. He's looking pass first to set up his teammates, but he will score when given the opportunity.
Shields in the paint, and it's blocked away and taken away by Mo Walker. Now Matthew gets to show that speed in the open floor. The tip won't go, and a foul is going to be called on Siobhan Shields. Austin Hollins fouled by Shields coming over the back.
Well, watch Mo Walker. Holds his ground, doesn't leave his feet. Excellent job of building a wall defensively without fouling.
Second team foul on Nebraska, second on Shields. Austin Hollins cuts that Nebraska lead down to 5.
He should be the second scorer right now for Minnesota. Trying to help out Malik Smith in the scoring load. He needs to figure out ways to get to the free throw line and also to get to the rim.
It's been a quiet game, just 4 points for Hollins. Shields consistently trying to get inside.
Just paint touches we talk about. He does it as well as anyone on this Nebraska team.
Gallegos, nice dish inside to Pitchford. And Pitchford with a foul underneath going on Walker.
Well, I thought they were going to get Pitchford for a travel there. I guess he's alluding to the contact there.
So off the inbound, the lob in. Petaway going to work. Tough wraparound. Pitchford open for 3. And he splashes one home. Walter Pitchford's hit 3 from behind the arc.
He's in the right place at the right time. Ty Webster recognizing he had Walter on the perimeter.
There's Smith in the corner. And the rebound to Pitchford. Long outlet to Petaway. Petaway on the drive. Got the 2.
That was Petaway's athleticism that made that happen, because that pass wasn't very good from Siobhan Shields.
Largest lead for Nebraska at 9. Can Minnesota find the answer? DeAndre Matthew. Hollins with 17 to shoot. 13 to shoot. Crowd into it again as Oceanix goes down the baseline. Tough shot. Tip try by Hollins won't go, and there's Petaway. Nebraska looking for its first double-digit lead. Petaway in traffic all the way to the basket. The shot no good, and Oceanics with a rebound.
Yeah, that's a tough decision right there. A lot of traffic.
Matthew has it poked away. The steal for Nebraska. Numbers for the Huskers. Petaway. 11-point lead for Nebraska. And Minnesota is going to call a timeout as soon as they bring it across the timeline. Richard Pitino wants to slow it down. Is the motor that makes this Nebraska offense go. 16 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds. He's getting it done on both ends of the floor right now.
He understands they have a wonderful opportunity here. A shorthanded Minnesota Gopher team. You got to get quality wins at home in the Big Ten.
Matthew having some trouble keeping his footing, and then a travel is called. The leukemia when he was 2 years old. He is now leukemia-free, and we got the chance at halftime to see several young boys and girls who have had successful bone marrow transplants and are battling successfully against leukemia, and we certainly are excited to see all those kids doing so well as Benny Parker hits the two.
When Benny Parker shoots the basketball and gives them productive minutes, that's always a bonus for the Huskers. And that's because Devereaux Biggs is not playing this afternoon, so other guys stepping up for the Huskers.
Oceanics working against Shields. And Austin Hollins traveled with it. Another Minnesota turnover. That's number 7 on the Gophers. And you see the coaches on both sides wearing the green and orange ties. Green is for leukemia awareness, or for bone marrow awareness. The orange is for leukemia. And to learn more, go to coachesversuscancer.org. And both coaching staffs jumped on that with the ties this weekend as Petaway misses and King gets the rebound. Matthew in the corner to Hollins. And Hollins cannot connect. The rebound to Parker. Long lob ahead to Petaway. A little bit too far as Petaway is out of bounds.
Nebraska giving Minnesota a bit of their own medicine, pushing the basketball really well after made or missed shots. And so, Nebraska trying to get out, but they're doing a really good job, to me, of limiting the fast break points for Minnesota. Only 2 this afternoon for Minnesota, and a lot of that being because DeAndre Matthew struggling mightily due to Nebraska's defense.
Great steal by Smith, reaching around Bo Walker. And now Smith filling the lane with a left hand. Nebraska with a 15-point advantage over the Gophers. Huskers have had their last 4 games decided by 6 points or less. They're 1-3 in those games. Walker backing down Smith, and a strong post move by Bo Walker.
Leslie Smith is one of the better defenders in the post area in the Big Ten, but if Mo Walker gets the ball and he's got time, he's going to be productive. And that's where Minnesota needs to go, is down the paint to get back in this game.
His game improvement is so stark from last year to this year. Both physical appearance and just the skill that he's approached this game with. Gallegos with the miss, and Matthew up the floor quickly. Everything he does is quick, and there's a foul called against Petaway. For Petaway, that'll be his 3rd.
Matthew was very fortunate that time. He's going into traffic 1-on-2, 1-on-3 with really nowhere to go. Fortunate to get that foul call right there.
2 points, 1 assist for DeAndre Matthew after his 18-point performance on Wednesday against Wisconsin.
Totally have to credit Tim Miles and his staff for their approach to this game, because they knew that DeAndre Matthew is the key to this Gopher attack, and if they can corral him, not let him get into the paint, they make Minnesota have to figure out a different way, and thus far it's been all golden, not for the Gophers, but for the Huskers.
Change their school colors if this continues. Collins will check out as Ahan Misi is back in. Well, one of the goals when you play DeAndre Matthew is to get him retreating a little bit. Now, with the 2 fouls, was Nebraska able to be successful in doing that in that first half, or was it Matthew's foul trouble that took him out of it?
No, I think it was a combination of both. Some of the adjustments that the Huskers have made on DeAndre have been very, very good, and then the foul trouble didn't help.
Pitchford out to Gallegos, 12 to shoot. Webster all alone for three. And Ty Webster, only 4 made threes on the year coming in. Drains that three, his first tonight.
Boy, no hesitation, stepped into it beautifully. That's what happens when you have a double-digit lead at home. You start to feel good about yourself. Things become a lot easier.
Huskers shooting 53% from behind the arc, 50% from the floor. Matthew on the drive, got the hoop and the foul. Pitchford with the contact, and he picks up his third.
My goodness, that jump stop. DeAndre Matthew left from the Big Ten emblem, and by the emblem, and by the time he landed, he was in front of it. Watch this. Now, that's a broad jump for you. That's a jump stop. DeAndre Matthew doing what he can to cut into this deficit.
A little bit strong as Pitchford rebounds for Nebraska. They're going to need DeAndre Matthew to assert himself a little bit more. He's kept the foul problems at a minimum after those 2 in the first half. No more fouls on Matthew.
And Matthew, he makes things easier for his teammates. He gets them easy shots due to his dribble penetration, his willingness to pass.
15 to shoot. Here's Webster on the drive to the well. Can't get the roll. That would have counted had it gone. He'll go to the line for a pair of free throws as the foul is called on DeAndre Matthew, his third.
Great curl cut by Ty Webster, putting the pressure on Matthew as he caught the basketball. It's a savvy move by the freshman.
Ty Webster 60% at the line this year. And the free throw is good. This is a guy who came in with an awful lot of expectation at Nebraska. He's a 4-star recruit from New Zealand. A lot of people raving about his ability who had seen him overseas. But as a freshman, sometimes that adjustment to this level is a steep climb. What have you seen from Ty Webster?
Well, he really hasn't looked to score that often in the last 3 or 4 games. I believe he's averaging 3.5 points per game during that span. And so he's not really looking for his shot. But I think it's imperative if Nebraska's going to get better that he needs to be definitely an option on that end.
And off the hands of Gallegos right into the hands of Elliot Eliason, who lays it in for the 2. Webster on the attack. Eliason with a block. Big man playing on both ends. And the bounce ahead to McNeil. And the reverse layup won't go. Rebound in the corner, pulled down by Shields, who keeps the dribble alive as he goes down. Heady play by the sophomore Siobhan Shields. 12-point lead for Nebraska, and Gallegos kind of slowing things down a little bit.
Yeah, and they wanted to recognize what defense Minnesota's in, the 2-3 zone right now.
Gallegos guarded 3. Rebound tipped by Pitchford, but scooped by McNeil. Ahead to Matthew. Very aggressive. Feeds it to King. Pinned against the glass. The putback back up and in by Daquan McNeil.
But David Rivers showing you his athleticism on that block.
Minnesota, though, has carved that lead down to 10 with 11:10 to play. Still a ton of time.
And they're starting to get better looks. They're getting to the rim. They're getting second chance points. Possessions where they don't have to work as hard to score the basketball.
It seems like the pace has gone up and down a little bit more, which might favor Minnesota.
I would agree with that.
Ball knocked out of bounds by DeAndre Matthew. They're enjoying what they've seen so far. Their home team up at 10, 53-43. Still 10:47 to go in this game. Pettaway, the deep 3, and he hits it with the shot clock running out. Pettaway got a hand clap and a floor slap from his head coach for that shot.
You talk about this crowd. They're a big reason why they're 8-1 here this season. Tough to come into this building and overcome all this positive emotion the home crowd gives the Huskers.
What big 3 from Pettaway with that shot clock winding down. Matthews splits 2 defenders and a pass out of bounds. Eliason couldn't pull it in, and a turnover by Minnesota.
Well, set play right there. Looked like lack of communication defensively by Ahan Nisi and Malik Smith. Resulted in Pettaway on the open look.
Again, you wonder if that communication is better if Andre Hollins is on the floor with the experience that he brings in situations like that.
Oh, for sure.
Of course, Andre Hollins injured Wednesday night, 16 seconds into the game, rolled his ankle, and is out for at least this game. They'll evaluate, of course, as the days go along, but he's got a walking boot on the sidelines.
Yeah, so he's nowhere near coming back to being full speed on the court. But coaches like this situation. They like to see what their teams are made of and how they'll adjust.
Rivers fading away over Elias. That's a wild shot. And the rebound, Austin Hollins. Minnesota on the push. Hollins in transition. Rebound, Eliason had it. Knocked out by Smith. It'll stay with the Gophers. There's Andre Hollins right now on the bench. You know he'd love to be out there right now. What a competitor. And this was him before the game with that boot.
He's wanting to be a part of the team, and you're in the shoot around on the bus, and it's killing him right now to sit on the sideline. Now, I know that.
Malik Smith off the inbound, hits the three in the corner. Malik Smith continuing to rain him down. That's his 6th made three. He's got 21.
He's keeping the Gophers in the ball game. And right now, Gophers can get a stop here, cut this lead to single digits. That's an emotional boost for them with plenty of time left.
Malik Smith with a new Gopher high of 21 points. Still a few points off his college high as Benny Parker, who came in averaging 1.4 points per game, comes up with his 2nd big shot for Nebraska.
Textbook.
Try to buy him a couple of minutes on the bench with 6:10 to play.
Yeah, and with them having it'll still be a double-digit lead here.
2 more for Malik Smith.
That's right. Could be single-digit.
You're trying to jinx him. I can see.
No, I got so caught up in that replay with Higgins and Fedaway. He got fouled on a 3.
25 points for Malik Smith. 26 now for Smith. And his career high is 29 as a member of Richard Pitino's FIU team last year against Stetson. Now some pressure results in the steal. Smith will back out for 3. Hits it again. 8 made threes from Malik Smith. He is absolutely red hot in Lincoln. And it's 64-58, just a 6-point game.
The decision to pull up from 3, though. That guy is on. I don't know. I wish I had that kind of green light.
Or that kind of confidence.
Yeah, exactly. Man. Makes the steal, makes a play, and quiets this crowd down once again.
Smith backs it out to Gallegos, 8 to shoot. Who will score with Petaway on the bench?
The ball movement has really slowed down.
Webster's going to have to shoot the 3. A little bit strong, and a foul is going to be called inside against the Gophers. This will be the 6th team foul on Minnesota. It'll go on Oceanix.
Watch the quick hands of Malik Smith right there. Post the ball out. And no hesitation whatsoever from 3. Malik Smith doing it on both ends in the absence of Andre Hollins.
3rd foul on Otto Oceanix. He'll sit down. Malik Smith, 8 for 11 from 3-point range. And Smith with 29 points. Rivers in for Parker. So Nebraska gets bigger. New 35 on that foul. Shields won't use much of that 35. A little bit strong. Rebound inside Shields. And Eliason tied it up. The foul is called on Elliot Eliason. That'll be his 4th.
Shields staying aggressive, going after his own miss. Gets to the rim. Going for the basketball right there. A lot of contact.
Mo Walker back in for Richard Pitino. Eliason sits down with those 4 fouls. 1-and-1 time for Nebraska. And Shields will get the bonus. Tim Miles has been in these spots a lot this year, and unfortunately for his team, they've fallen short in almost all of these spots.
And they're really close. We've been talking about that throughout the game in terms of their 1-5 record in the Big Ten. They've been really close in a number of games where play here or there, decision here or there.
Matthew inside, Hollins with 14 to shoot. Smith alone in the corner. They left him, and he couldn't hit that one. Rebound saved by Pitchford and scooped by Rivers. This is about the best look Malik Smith's had tonight.
Well, and Ray Gallegos lost track of Smith that time, fell in love with watching the basketball, and Malik Smith sneaks behind him. They were very fortunate.
Shields at the line, driving it inside. Tough bank for Siobhan Shields. Getting 2 more on the board.
Siobhan Shields is a solid 220 pounds, so he can take the hit and continue to finish at the rim.
Matthew, speaking of finishing at the rim, able to wriggle inside.
Nebraska's done a pretty good job of keeping a hand in his face. I mean, a couple of those were uncontested, but most of those he had to work to get free. This is a wonderful offensive display we're seeing by Malik Smith. Now, if you're Nebraska, can they make the plays and decisions moving forward here with 3:45 left? Can they close out this game in strong fashion, taking advantage of this lead?
10 to shoot. Webster. The pass deflected out of bounds by Hollins. Nebraska 3% for threes. Put nearly 3 percentage points on his season percentage tonight. What a night. 2 to shoot, 1 to shoot, and a foul is called. And Petaway back in the game. Very aggressive with 4 fouls. Will go to the line.
Yeah, it was a smart move in terms of putting pressure once again on his defender and then getting into the paint and making something happen. But that's an incredible stat you mentioned by Malik Smith. 1, that he's shooting so well. 2, that he's got so many that he's made to increase his percentages like that. That's it's a tremendous stat, and it's very illustrative of what he's done tonight.
Especially this late in the season, you don't usually see a big move like that. It's Leslie Smith able to keep it alive, but it bounces into play to Mo Walker. 8-point lead for Nebraska. DeAndre Matthew going to work for the Gophers, and a pass deflected and taken away by Smith. Huge steal by the big man.
That's why Coach Miles really likes him, because he just does so many different things to help the team.
Gallegos hesitated a little bit. Shields, though, gets the offensive rebound, and Tim Miles says, stop. Burn some clock here.
They're going to do the same thing they did last time and try to take a little clock off and maybe get the ball over to Teran Petaway on the wing to see if they can get him one-on-one with either, looks like, Austin Hollins on that particular wing.
Petaway's got 26 tonight. 8 to shoot for Webster. There's Shields backing out for the long 2, and Siobhan Shields has hit some big shots tonight. He's got 8.
Well, that's a backbreaker right there. When you take your time and you get a good quality shot like that, leading to the Huskers shooting 50% from the field right now.
Matthew bumped by Webster, and the foul will send Matthew to the line.
Shot clock running down. A simple slip. Finding Shields along the baseline. The defense doesn't react. Joey King has to come up high. He can't stay on the baseline. Fans love it.
Champ Kind especially excited by that one.
I need that hat.
Matthew misses the one-on-one, but he gets his own rebound. DeAndre Matthew in amongst the trees, finding Walker. Swatted by Smith. Walker staying with it, and he's fouled. What's been so impressive about the growth of Mo Walker has been the hard work that he has shown, and the fact that he's just become so aggressive, staying with it in there.
Yeah, he did a good job. Got it blocked, went back and got it. Was strong enough to get it up on the glass again. But towards the end of the game, trying to cut into the lead, you got to have those free throws.
Minnesota shooting just 56% at the line tonight. Both missed there by Mo Walker and Smith the rebound. That's the top free throw shooting team in the Big Ten Conference, and they're at 52.6% now in this one.
Every team has 3 or 4 games where things just don't go your way. This is one of those games for Minnesota, and a lot of it has had to do with Nebraska. The adjustments they've made defensively have been very impressive.
Smith on the drive, Walker with the foul. Fourth on Mo Walker. And that'll be a 1-and-1 opportunity for Nebraska. 1:50 to go on a 10-point lead for the Huskers here in Lincoln.
Now Minnesota was able to threaten. Smith got that steal on a 3. But ever since then, Nebraska has really gotten quality possessions, good looks, taking time off the shot clock each time.
Big miss on the front end there for Leslie Smith, just 2 for 7 at the line tonight. Matthew. Pass into the post. Walker waiting for traffic to clear, gets the 2.
Nice patience by Mo Walker that time.
8-point game, 90 seconds to go. Foul. DeAndre Matthew, his 4th. Teran Petaway will go to the line. Petaway to the line. Our Buick game reset. 2 timeouts for Minnesota. 10 fouls. Possession arrow favoring Nebraska. Tim Miles with a bevy of timeouts if he wants them, but doesn't want the clock stopping right now.
No, the clock is definitely not their friend at this point.
King will inbound. 2 made free throws, a 10-point game. Matthew. And a foul is called on Ty Webster. Not necessarily what you want to see there, given a chance to score with the clock stopping.
Well, the emphasis on the freedom of movement, these new rules, they don't allow defenders to guard the ball. I mean, Ty Webster, and we see it on both ends of the floor. Both teams have been called for it. When you're trying to defend a ball handler and you can't make any contact on them, then you're rendered helpless on the defensive end. That's one aspect of that new rule that I don't like.
Matthew gets the front end. That front end of the 1-and-1 has been a real challenge tonight for the Gophers. They missed all 3 in the first half. They've missed 1 here in the second half as well. Matthew got the roll. And a substitution, Maverick Ahan-Misi back in for DeAndre Matthew.
Minnesota does this as well as anyone in the Big Ten. They come up with steals.
There's Gallegos fouled by Malik Smith.
Yeah, Ray is primarily a spot-up shooter. And last game, we want to see improvement.
Gallegos, 2 made in that trip at the line. 10-point lead for Nebraska. Daquan McNeil. Matthew will back out for the 3. Got a look, and DeAndre Matthew made Nebraska pay. And then a foul on McNeil with 1:02 to play, sending Gallegos back to the line.
Wow, DeAndre Matthew is really able. His footwork is excellent. Watch how he hops back, gets in position, and then lets the 3 fly. He's had a tough night, though. Nebraska has done an excellent job of corralling him and his penetration.
Our Buick game reset. 12 fouls, so 2 free throws. Obviously, the rest of the way for both teams. 9 fouls whistled against Nebraska in the second half. Parker will return to the game for the Huskers. Leslie Smith will leave. Ray Gallegos. 9 points to go along with 5 assists. DeAndre Matthew. Into some traffic, lost it, and that ball off the foot of Siobhan Shields.
Yeah, right now, if the Huskers continue to hit their free throws, it's the only way Minnesota can get back in the game. They should walk out of here with another W.
Hollins driving to the bucket, and the foul is called. So Austin Hollins will get a chance to score with the clock stopping. Ty Webster with the foul, his 4th.
And that's exactly, if you're Tim Miles, that's exactly what you don't want to happen. Best case scenario for Minnesota, scoring with the ability to score with no time off the clock and able to set up their pressure.
One more for Hollins. Pitchford back in. Ahan-Misi returns. Matthew and Parker sit down. Minnesota still hanging around here, down by 6. Now the pressure applied by the Gophers. Petaway in some trouble, and he's fouled. Ahan Misi and Smith were there. The foul going on Maverick Ahan Misi. That is number 3 on Ahan Misi. Don't forget the Journey Big Ten Basketball 2014 coming up immediately following our broadcast here in Lincoln.
Thus far, Nebraska doing a good job of maintaining their lead under this pressure, something they didn't handle very well against Penn State. Had a couple of critical turnovers in the last minute and a half of that game that cost them a victory.
Both free throws good for Petaway. Teran Petaway with 29. Malik Smith driving to the basket. Acrobatic shot, and then King there for the tip. 6-point game. Petaway fouled by King, stopping the clock with 32.2 seconds to go. Nebraska at the line tonight, 64% as a team. And Petaway with 30 points tonight, tying his career high that he had against UMass on November 21st.
Petaway 6 of 8 from the line, so he's doing his share as I throw out the announcer jinx.
Hot time tonight here at Pinnacle Bank Arena with Nebraska up by 6, and Petaway hits the second. 7-point game, 78-71.
Well, I have to settle for a 3 here from Minnesota.
They'll find the 3 from Hollins, and he hits and a tie. Shields into Petaway. Petaway trying to get rid of it. The ball knocked to the sideline, out of bounds, off of Ahan. The home crowd obviously happy with the way it went.
For sure. And
now they got to get it in, and they do to Webster. They're not fouling yet. And now Petaway finally fouled with 14.2 seconds to go. And Richard Pitino not happy that much time went off the clock.
Well, it also wasn't happy because Webster hasn't been to the line quite as much as Petaway this evening. That would have been the candidate to get fouled.
The Journey Big Ten Basketball 2014 coming up right after the game with a profile on Minnesota's DeAndre Matthew and Nebraska assistant coach Chris Harriman and his son Avery battling leukemia. Plus Ravonte Rice back home in Champaign. That's on the Journey Big Ten Basketball 2014 immediately following our game in Lincoln. Now an 80-74 lead for Nebraska. Matthew, 10 seconds to go. King with 7 seconds, and a foul is called. 7.8 seconds to go. And Siobhan Shields will send King to the line for 2 free throws.
Well, we've seen it on both sides. Put your head down and get to the rim and pick up a foul. For Minnesota, King can get these down. You can set up your pressure once again. Just extend the game as much as you can if you're Minnesota. And Nebraska doing their part and hitting their free throws, taking care of the basketball.
King with the first, a 77% shooter at the line. Ahan Misi back in, Pitchford back in. 7.8 seconds to go. Gophers have 1 timeout remaining. Both teams well over the limit. King good on both. And a 4-point game. Shields into Webster, fouled immediately. Only 0.4 of a second off the clock, and that's exactly what Richard Pitino wanted. Foul Webster, send the freshman to the line, and not lose a lot of time.
And he wanted that the previous possession.
Exactly.
They let about 5 or 6 seconds go off and end up putting Petaway at the line.
Webster 2 for 2 tonight. But he's a 60% free throw shooter, and that's why Richard Pitino wanted him at the line the last time.
That's right. And that's why you want to try to put freshmen on the line in this situation. See, they got ice water in their veins.
Missed them both. Hollins with a rebound. 5 seconds to go. Up ahead to McNeil. Lays it in with 2 inbound for the Huskers. Petaway catches in the corner, and he's fouled with 1.7 seconds to go. And Teran Petaway can effectively put this away for Nebraska if he can hit 2 free throws and cap a career night where he's got 33 points. 9 for 12 at the line tonight. The next one will do it for Nebraska.
I was pretty confident right there, stepping up.
34 points for Teran Petaway. And Nebraska is going to win this one, barring a miracle of epic proportions. The inbound to McNeil. He'll heave it from half court. It is no good. And the Nebraska